When NASCAR headed to the iconic Riverside International Raceway in November of 1963, the championship battle was basically out of reach. Joe Weatherly held a sizable lead over his nearest competitor, Richard Petty. However, the focus would not be the championship battle. It would be the battle between the track, the FIA, and USAC. Racers from different sanctioning bodies have been crossing series lines for decades. Racers just want to race. But in doing so, this often puts them in the crosshairs of opposing sanctioning bodies. Such was the case for the 1963 Golden State 400 at Riverside International Raceway. Looking to provide fans the opportunity to see some of racing's greatest drivers, Riverside Raceway General Manager Les Richter applied for and received the required FIA license, which permitted drivers from other sanctioning bodies to compete in the race. This attracted some of Open Wheel's biggest stars: A.J. Foyt, Dan Gurney, Parnelli Jones, and Roger Ward, to name just a few, all who descended on the track hoping to snatch victory from the Stalkers. Despite the FIA approval, USAC put their foot down, stating that no USAC racer would be permitted to race in this event. This mandate forced most of the USAC racers to withdraw, despite the fact that most had already qualified for the race. Starting with Dan Gurney, who won the pole, but was forced to withdraw, turning the number 121 Wood Brothers Racing Ford over to NASCAR veteran Marvin Panch. A.J. Foyt, Parnelli Jones, and even future NASCAR team owner Roger Penske had all qualified, but eventually packed up and left due to the USAC ruling. One racer that refused to bend to the USAC mandate was Paul Goldsmith. "I have an obligation to the fans and my car owner Ray Nichols to drive in this race. Besides, I have the right to drive at Riverside because of the FIA approval." Despite USAC's iron-fisted approach, the race would proceed, minus some of racing's greatest superstars. Those that remain strapped in and prepared to tackle the twisty turns of Riverside International Raceway. Marvin Panch led from the pole, but was quickly passed by Fred Lorenzen in the number 28 Holman Moody Ford. Lorenzen would fall out shortly thereafter with transmission issues. It quickly became a battle between Dave McDonald in the number 21 Wood Brothers Ford and Darrell Derringer in the number 16 Strop Mercury. Other notables included Fireball Roberts, racing the Holman Moody number 22. He eventually finished 4th. Legendary racer Ken Miles was also on hand, racing the Holman Moody number 281, bringing his Ford home 11th. Despite the name on the door, that iconic silhouette belongs to Richard Petty, who climbed into the number 26 Mercury to relieve Junior Johnson early in the race. Petty would finish the race in 5th. Championship contender Joe Weatherly finished 7th and locked up the 1963 championship, 2,228 points over Richard Petty. When the checkered flag fell, Darrell Derringer drove a Bill Strop-owned Mercury to the win, the first of his 7 career Cup victories. Despite there being a race winner that November afternoon, there were many losers, as stated by track GM Les Richter. USAC's attitude was short-sighted for racing as a whole, he stated. USAC let down the fans, the drivers, and the raceway, with which it has an agreement. Following the event, USAC dropped the hammer on Paul Goldsmith, suspending him indefinitely. This suspension meant that Goldsmith would be unable to attempt qualifying for the 1964 Indy 500 the following May. Goldsmith had crashed out on lap 42, eventually finishing 31st and bringing home only $300. You have to wonder if his decision was worth the penalty. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Racing Reflections. See you next time. Oh, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe button so I can continue to bring you amazing historical stories.